What if I told you that AI might be able to flag harmful content online and not just by recognizing specific words, but by actually understanding what someone means, like the moral implications?
That's a huge question in AI research right now.
Which is perfect because it's exactly what we're diving into today. We're looking at this super interesting research paper.
Fresh from this year's Wisdoms 2024 workshop.
Yeah, wisdoms. It stands for Integrating the Semantics of Data, Ontologies, Moral and Cultural Values, and Their Societal Impact.
Get you right.
Definitely rolls right off the tongue. But it does make you think about what they're trying to do. I mean, teaching AI about human values, that's a lot.
It's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
And we humans haven't exactly figured out all of ethics ourselves.
That's for sure. So how do you begin to explain something like fairness to a computer? Or loyalty? That's where this research gets so cool. They use this thing called moral foundations theory, or MFT.
Yeah, MFT, it's like this psychological framework to break down the core ideas of morality. It basically says that even though different cultures express values differently, deep down we all share some of the same basic values.
So like at our core, we agree on right and wrong, but our cultures have different ways of, I don't know, showing it, expressing it.
Yeah, exactly. And MFT breaks these values down into 6 pairs.
Okay, hit me with it.
So we've got care versus harm, fairness versus cheating, loyalty versus betrayal, authority versus subversion, sanctity versus degradation, and liberty versus oppression.
Wow, okay, they covered it all. But how do you go from like a list of values to actually teaching a machine about them?
Right, so that's where the technical stuff comes in. They use something called the DNS ontology design pattern.
Ontology, now we're talking. Okay, but seriously, what is the DNS thing?
So imagine a huge digital library, right? And it's got all these concepts all broken down and connected. And this library, this DNS thing, it helps the AI understand what words mean in terms of morality, like how words connect to moral ideas. It's like a dictionary, but for morals.
Okay, I think I'm getting it. So they've got this moral dictionary. Now what?
Now, they use it to train their AI. And they used a massive data set, 10,000 sentences, all about different moral situations.
Whoa, 10,000 sentences? That's a lot of moral dilemmas to come up with.
It is. They actually used a large language model. You know, those are huge right now. And it helped them take all those sentences and sort them based on that moral framework.
So they taught the AI to read between the lines, morally. But how do you measure something like that? How do you know if a machine understands morality?
Okay, so get ready. It gets really interesting here. They didn't just ask the AI for yes or no, like if a sentence matched a moral foundation.
Don't tell me they gave it a lie detector test.
Not quite. But they did something even cooler. They designed it to respond with probabilities.
Probabilities. Okay, now I'm really lost.
So basically, it showed how certain the AI was about its moral assessment.
So it's like the AI is saying, this sentence seems 80% likely to be about care, but there's also a 20% chance it's about fairness.
Exactly. You got it. And this is where things got really surprising for the researchers, because sometimes what the AI came up with wasn't what they were expecting at all.
Okay, now you have to tell me. What were these surprises? What did the AI find?
One thing they found was that some moral foundations were easier for the AI to get than others.
Oh, really? Like what?
Like care, for example, seemed to be a slam dunk.
Care.
Yeah, the AI consistently identified sentences that were about care, like with a high degree of accuracy.
Interesting.
But then you have sanctity, and it was like a totally different story.
So it's kind of like the AI understood, I don't know, like compassion and empathy more easily than ideas about what's like sacred or pure.
Yeah, you got it.
That is so weird when you think about it.
Wow. It is. And
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, right, like, does this mean that there's something like fundamentally different about those moral concepts?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Are some moral foundations just easier to like define than others?
Yeah.
Or could it just be, because of the data they use to train the AI?
That's true too, because like maybe how we talk about care is just way more straightforward than how we talk about sanctity,
Totally.
It's kind of like maybe our human understanding of sanctity is just too complicated, even for AI.
Exactly. That's what's so cool about this kind of research. It makes you really think about your assumptions.
It really does.
And it gets even more interesting.
Oh, how so?
The AI, it found some unexpected links between different moral foundations.
Okay, now you've got to tell me more about these links. What did it find?
So one of the most surprising things they found was this strong connection between care and degradation.
Hold on. Care and degradation, those seem like total opposites. I don't get how the AI could connect those two.
I know, right? The researchers were surprised too. But you have to remember, this AI, it's not a human.
True.
It's looking at tons and tons of data and finding these patterns that we might totally miss.
Because we're too busy, like, actually caring and degrading to notice.
Right, exactly. We only have so much brain power to throw around.
Okay, that's fair.
So it's like the AI is finding these hidden connections.
Like a moral microscope or something.
Yes, exactly. And okay, we don't know for sure without, more research.
Of course, of course.
But it might be that the AI is seeing this like really subtle but really important truth. When there's a lack of care, you end up with degradation.
Mm.
And not just like for one person, but for everyone.
Wow.
Like for society as a whole.
That's deep, man.
It is. And that's why this is such important research.
Yeah.
It's not just about making AI that can pass a morality quiz.
Right.
It's about us understanding our own values better.
I like that.
And maybe seeing our own ethical blind spots.
Yeah, for sure.
And thinking about what our actions, like what they really lead to.
It's like we're looking in a mirror, but the mirror is powered by AI.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got AI that is finding these hidden connections in our morals and maybe even teaching us about ourselves a bit. But let's be practical. What's the real world use for all this? Like, why should this matter to the average person?
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
And it's what everyone's trying to figure out.
It's a great point. And there are so many areas where this could be helpful. Like, what about using AI to help moderate online content?
Absolutely. That's one of the most promising applications.
Instead of just flagging certain words, it could actually understand if something is harmful or misleading based on the intent.
Exactly.
Oh!
Because right now, it's like those content filters are just playing catch up, right?
All right.
They're reacting to the latest slang or code words.
Oh, totally.
But if AI could actually understand the morality behind the message,
Whoa. That would be a game changer. No more trolls hiding behind clever wording.
right, it could actually understand the meaning and the potential harm, regardless of how it's phrased.
That would be incredible. Though I do wonder how you teach a machine about all the ways humans can be awful to each other online.
Yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it?
Definitely a work in progress, but still.
It's super promising. And think about it. This kind of technology could be used in so many different areas. Like, what about healthcare or the legal field?
Oh, wow. Like having an AI ethics advisor. Your Honor, my client's algorithm recommends leniency. Huh?
Well, maybe not quite yet.
Okay, true, true. But it does make you think, what would it mean to have AI giving moral advice? Would we even listen? Should we?
It's a future full of big questions, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But we have to remember, this research is still new.
Right.
They trained this AI on a specific data set.
Of course.
And like we've been talking about, human values, they're complex.
They really are?
They change depending on the situation.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. It's like trying to teach someone about honesty, but only using kids' books. It's a start, but eventually they need to learn about the real world.
Exactly.
So where do we go from here with this research? What are the next steps?
Well, one of the most important things is to diversify the data that's used to train AI.
Make sure it's got a wide range of views.
Yes, moral perspectives, different cultural contexts, all of it.
Otherwise, you just end up with AI that reflects a very small part of what it means to be human.
Exactly. And we need to keep making the algorithms themselves more powerful
More nuanced.
so that they can understand the messiness of human values even better.
So it's all about balance.
Yes,
Pushing the limits of what AI can do, but making sure it reflects the real world too.
I like that.
Well, on that note, what's the big takeaway you want to leave our listeners with today? What's the thing that really blew your mind about this research?
That's a good question.
There's a lot to unpack here.
There is. I think the most amazing thing is that it makes us think about what it means to be human in the first place.
Oh, interesting. Because if AI can understand morality,
Right. These complicated, subjective ideas, the things we thought were unique to humans,
yeah.
it makes you wonder, are they really unique?
Right. Are we really so special? Or are our morals like just patterns waiting for a machine to find them?
Exactly.
So many big questions. And for our listeners, if you want to check this out yourself, the researchers actually made a really cool tool.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
You can type in any text you want,
I know, it's so cool.
and it'll show you how the AI breaks down the morals in it. It's like a
Right.
fun way to see this research in action. And it reminds you that this stuff isn't just science fiction, it's happening right now.
It really is. AI is learning more and more about us every single day, even our values.
So it's up to us to understand what that means and how we want to shape that future.
Well said.
So keep those brains buzzing, everyone, and we'll catch you on our next deep dive.